So the actual surgery. So when you get to Turkey, what happens? You stay in the wee influencer hotel and that.
Nah. Not this one, you don't. There's no sugar coat in it. You're there for an operation.
Yeah.
So when we got there, if you haven't paid your balance, that's the first thing you've got to do. So you pay your balance, you sign all your paperwork, and then you're off straight for tests. So we got there quite late at night, and we were going to have to fast. Well, we were having to fast before our tests. So our flight wasn't delayed, but we were a wee bit longer in the airport, so nobody really had any to eat anyway.
Yeah.
We arrived there, we signed our paperwork, and we all went for our tests. So we had an ECG, various other tests, I don't know, heart tests, I can't even remember now, there was that many of them.
What did they tell you what they're checking for?
So they're checking your heart, they're checking your bloods, just to make sure that there's no underlying things that are going to come and surprise them. And then the following morning, you get woke up at like 5:30, and you go down for an endoscopy. So they put you under sedation over there for an endoscopy. That was an experience.
You're just like high as fuck.
High as fuck. But they do this thing called sleeve mates. So they have a group of people and they go and get their sleeve done. And then after they leave the hospital, they go to some of the sightseeing places in Turkey, and then they take them to the markets.
Right.
And things like that. And there's a whole group of them, but there was a whole group of Irish.
They do that in Monklands and all.
Never heard of
Show
it.
you're in Wishaw.
Take a fin grow. So a wee Hail Mary whilst you're there. So they do all that. So there was a whole load of Irish folk down waiting to get their endoscopy done, and when they were coming out, they were as high as a kite, trying to get the doctor's number, pinching his bum the lot, because they were just away with the fairies. But that was an experience in itself. But it was done and dusted in no time. Like, you wouldn't even have known it was there. You get a wee bit of a dry throat later on in the afternoon. But other than that, it was fine. And that's the Saturday morning. And then it was just a waiting game. They came back, all the tests were fine, then you were good to go for surgery.
So how many days are you there before you do the surgery?
I had my surgery on the Saturday evening.
Like 2 days though?
They came and got me at 5:15 at night, and I was back in my room, I think, for about 11 o'clock at night.
And how are you feeling throughout all that? Like nervous or...?
A bit nervous. I don't think I gave myself enough time to think about it.
Because you said you'd done 6 weeks.
Aye.
And then you just went. Right.
I'd made my decision, booked it, and got my passport, and then it was time to go. Like, I was getting myself organised for going, and I went. So I was kind of nervous, and I was thinking, what am I doing here? And then when I came round from my surgery, I was really thinking, really questioning my life choices, thinking, what the fuck have I just done to myself? Because there's gas pain, because when they take away 80% of your stomach. So then they have to inflate the part they've taken away, and they have to inflate the stomach that's left there to make sure that there's no air holes, leaks or anything like that. So they're inflating it with gas. So you're then get that really gas pain that you need to either walk off, or you can't really drink anything at the minute. So like, it was really, really tough. I had really bad gas pain. But the other lady I was with, like, she had none. Mm-hmm. Nothing. She sailed through it. She was 66. I'm
really?
like, oh my God, I can't stomach this up and down all night with this gas pain.
She was 66?
66.
That's mad. See, what the problem with her liver, was that to do with the build-up of visceral fat, or was it... Right, okay.
It started to actually change the shape of it.
Right.
Which is what he was saying. So he's saying, you need to take this tool and you need to use it properly.
So, after you've seen the markets and all that, is that straight after?
Well, we never done that because we didn't do the sleeve mates thing.
Why not? That sounds like the best bit.
So we just went ourselves. We set up our own WhatsApp group, and we went together, right. And then so we all arrived. Well, there was 8 of us in total by the time everybody who was leaving from Glasgow. We'd set up a WhatsApp group with everybody.
How did you find out who they were?
They have a Facebook support group page, so it was like folk will say anybody flying for here on this date, and they want to, if they're already a group set up, then they'll add them into it, and then there's a support net there for them, because a lot of people actually go themselves, which is
the more of an embarrassment thing as well, probably.
Aye. Because there's folk that we went with who haven't told us all
that they've done it.
That they've done it.
heard.
I'm watching all, like, I'll wear my heart on my sleeve. If
Yeah,
somebody
I'm like
says to
that.
me, oh, you've done really well, you're looking brilliant, what you've done, I don't know if it's a Scottish thing, but it's like when somebody says, oh, your dress is lovely, you go, I got it for £5 out the pound shop or out the charity shop. You can't just say, oh, thanks.
I'm the same. As soon as I start, people are like embarrassed about therapy, and I'm like, I just went and I was talking about my mum. I just tell everyone everything.
Well, I'd say,
Maybe
so
it's a
says,
like a Glaswegian thing. We're just
Maybe.
fucking.
If somebody says to me, I'll say, well, I didn't do it alone, but, you know, I still put the work in.
Yeah.
The surgery doesn't take away the head hunger. It doesn't fix my relationship with food. It doesn't get my arse out of the bed and go to the gym or go for a walk. It doesn't do all the physical things that needs to be done after you have that surgery. The surgery doesn't do that for you. You need to then be in a mental mindset that you can do that, which is a struggle. Like the first few weeks afterwards, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I found myself crying and going to my bed early, and because the head hunger.
Yeah, talk to me about that. So with that one with the doctor, Ewan, so I'm asking him questions, and he can answer me, but he can only tell me what he's heard patients say. So he was like explaining head hunger and all that, but like it's hard for him to explain something that he's probably never been through. So tell me, because like I'd imagine, because even like last week, right, I had somebody really piss me off, and I went and bought just like a Halo Top ice cream. Do you know what I mean? And like,
you weren't hungry for it.
No, I wasn't hungry for it
anyway.
What?
But you bought it anyway.
Aye, because I was angry. So when you have a gastric sleeve, you now don't really have that option. So what, like, how do you deal with those emotions?
It's difficult. It's difficult. You're then struggling with your own mental health because your head's telling you, fuck it, just have it. Fucking have that cheesecake. See that shite in the drawer? Just fucking have it.
Yeah.
And it's you're not hungry. You're really not hungry. When I got home, it was fine for the first 2 weeks, which was just fluids, which I thought was going to be really tough.
At the start, can't you?
No,
so
it's
just
fluids only. So they give you, before you leave the hospital, they come round and they give you all the medication that you need.
What is that?
So you've got a stomach protector, which you take. We had to inject ourselves. It's just stomach protector, I believe, for...
I'd be out there injecting myself.
Aye. So it wasn't new to me. I had to do that after I had my son because I had gestational diabetes. So after that, I had to inject myself anyway. So you have to inject yourself, in fact, in the arm. It is. It's a blood thinner, is what that one is. And you have to do that for 10 days. And then you've got a stomach protector that you take every morning for, I think it's something like 3 months. And then they give you something to prevent gallstones, because with dramatic weight loss, rapid weight loss can then encourage your body to produce gallstones, or however that science works. And you
Asking
end up
the wrong person. No idea.
I'm not no health professional, but
they just grow.
They gave us those to try and prevent that. I've been quite lucky. My first couple of weeks I lost a fair bit, but then I've been a slow loser since, which has allowed me to work out, do all the things I want to do, and not have the loose skin, like not having that transfer addiction that he's speaking about, like having that addiction about being obsessed with being unhappy and then fixing that, but then now you're unhappy with that.
That's a good term to put it into transfer addiction.